Hey, what's up guys? It's Eric V here with Beta Records TV, and today we're talking about music and television and film. And the lady behind that, Alex Patsavas, how are you?
I'm really well, thanks.
Tell me how you got involved in this whole process.
Well, I started as a kid with an awesome record collection, and I grew up in the 80s in Chicago, and that was the era of the John Hughes movie, and I was really inspired by his soundtracks. When I got to college, I booked a club and brought lots of acts to campus. My experience up to that point was my record store, my radio station, and then I sort of discovered a bigger world. Moved to LA, had a rough time for a few years, and then had a friend who had the chance to direct his first movie for Roger Corman, and that was my first supervision gig. The music supervisor's job is to define a signature sound for the project. It's that wonderful scene and a great song that when paired together can create a little magic. Music supervision allows you to work closely with directors, with producers, with writers, editors, so you really sort of straddle film and music, which is such a privilege. You know, some of the shows that I do, like Mad Men, take place in 1963. I'm working on a Gossip Girl episode right now that takes place in 1983 Los Angeles, and there's something so wonderful about being able to do a little research.
How in-depth does this research really go when you're trying to pair a song to a scene? In
something like Mad Men, you know, Matt has a very definitive idea, so I'm given sort of a great template in which to do research. You know, and so, we look at Billboard charts from the era, we, try to find songs that have not been overused. It's sort of the same, it's always the same job, it's just a little bit different because we're doing something historical. You're
kind of known for bringing a lot of indie artists or unknown artists into this television and film world and subsequently breaking them into the industry. Is that a preference?
I've always been interested in indie music. The internet has made every band a local band, and now it is as easy to find bands from Iceland and Berlin and Florida as it is to find bands from Pasadena, which is where I live. As a supervisor, I get, maybe 500 submissions a week to the office. It's a crazy amount. I have a great staff of music coordinators who help, and we all go through music endlessly.
How do you sift through 500 submissions a week and narrow it down to say, hey, that single is going in this scene in Gossip Girl? Really
good music stands apart, and it's very easy to identify. There's also a lot of bad music, and that makes itself as obvious as the good music. I also think that, in these early discussions, I've been on Gossip Girl since the pilot, Josh and Stephanie and I had endless discussions about what that feel would be. And so when I hear something, I hear Gossip Girl. I hear death scenes and love scenes, and I've been at supervision now for about 15 years, and so I've sort of started to think in visuals a little bit.
You say pretty busy, right? You've got a couple of different things you're working on now worthy of note. I mean, you mentioned Gossip Girl. Is that kind of an ongoing thing for you?
It is. Gossip Girl we're at the end of season 2. I know that we'll be returning for a 3rd season. Grey's Anatomy will be coming back for its 6th season next year. I'll be working on the sequel to Twilight, New Moon, this summer.
Very cool.
And then lastly, I have a label, Chop Shop Records, and so I have 4 artists signed to the label.
Thank you very much for talking to us a little bit. I appreciate it.
Great to meet you.
And we'll be back with you guys shortly. Thanks for tuning in. Eric V, Beta Records TV. See you in a minute.